everyone, welcome back to Healing Mic podcast where one can speak their mind. Myself, Mitra, together with NADIRAH, your host for today. So NADIRAH, what is our topic for today's podcast?
Okay guys, today's topic is basically about COVID-19. We want to know how this COVID-19 changed people. We all know that the coronavirus has been spreading at a frantic pace, assaulting family and snuffing out life. As hunger and emotional contagion grip the nation, the hope of a containment also dims. No one has seen this enemy coming. The world has underestimated COVID-19.
Yes, that's the saddest reality of today's world, as we all have been greatly affected by the current COVID-19 pandemic. By the way, as for our guest, we have 4 energetic students from Northern University of Malaysia, also well known as University Utara Malaysia UUM.
Maybe we can have a short introduction of our guests here. So we have NURUL, AINAH, DIPANRAJ, DARSHINI, and the last one is PRIVINKUMAR. Welcome guys.
Hi everyone, thank you for having me.
Hello everyone.
Hi guys, I'm NYANASEGARAN and thank you for inviting me.
Hey guys.
Alright, I think so it's time for us to shoot our questions. Are you ready, NADIRAH?
Yes, I am. So guys, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, my first question is, what are your biggest difference before and after pandemic? Can you share with us, Dipan and Privin?
As for me, before pandemic, I used to be without any restrictions. Like at this moment, we need to stay at home, wearing the mask everywhere we go, sanitize our hands after touching each and everything when we go out. But before this pandemic, I used to be as a free bird, basically meeting my friends, even it's 12 a.m. at Mama shop, having coffee together, laughing, talking all day, and I really enjoyed it. But after this pandemic hit the world and especially our country, I started to become so depressed because I can't go out and friends are my biggest part of my life. I couldn't even meet them during the pandemic. So indeed it is really a disastrous thing.
It's a great sharing, Dipan. And how about you, Privin?
Well, me too guys. For me, I'll say it's the new norms that makes the differences throughout pre- and post-pandemic periods. Basically, I'm a rambler who enjoys walking guys and who enjoys going for long walks as well. I used to be free to roam everywhere at any moment. However, after the implementations of SOPs, I have had difficulties going for a stroll, and since we all know, self-discipline is the most important thing. Although it's really shocking, but we have to accept it.
Well, I strongly agree to both opinions. Our daily movements have been limited in order to reduce the transmission of coronavirus within the population. So AINAH and DARSHINI, can you tell us what is your biggest regret during this pandemic?
Actually, I miss traveling. I miss that sense of adventure, the new culture, new foods, the desire to see and do differently than being at home. I also miss collecting souvenirs, which represent my travels and adventures, and also that feeling of ticking off another bucket list and meeting new people from all over the world. It makes me to see the value in the excellence of nature. However, now I was unable to go out from my home due to the lockdown. It's somewhat exhausting. However, I understand for everybody's safety we should follow SOPs. Yet, I hope one day the pandemic will over and everything will back to normal.
Everyone hope for that as well. How about you, AINAH?
So I am an introvert. I really enjoy my own space and me time a lot. But what I realized after that is I don't really spend much time with my friends, which before this I used to say no when they asked me to go out. And now I kind of regret it because with this pandemic we end up have to go through self-workout, which made me sad that I should travel with them, go to the nice place, make memory and spend our time together a lot.
It is a little sad that traveling has now become something that you might do out of necessity rather than joy in this pandemic time, right? It is an activity that feels a risk that you need to factor it into your plans with the coronavirus still rocking around, right? Okay, my next question is how pandemic changed you or maybe your surrounding? Maybe Privin and Darshini can share with us.
Okay, actually, the coronavirus didn't initially spark my attention. As a 21-year-old living on the other side of the globe from when it had appeared, I felt bad about the lives that were being lost and the difficulties that people were facing. But I wasn't worried about my own well being. But it wasn't long before the first case were declared in Sungai, which is my hometown. I was now feeling overwhelmed by all the changes that were taking place. The news channel reported us late on March night that the educational institutions will be closed until later date. Suddenly, everything began to change, and the anxiety became more intense. I kept expecting the worst. Nothing was open. All the stores were closed. We were now officially quarantined. All felt like a nightmare from which I couldn't awaken. What made matters worse was the distortion and false news that was being posted on social media. We now started online classes on the upcoming days. I have little to worry about. I was relieved that I wouldn't be behind in my lessons, but it wasn't the same. Not being able to attend our physical classes made me to worry a lot.
Thank you for your sharing, Privin. Now we go to Darshini.
Well, pandemic transformed me to be an individual who need to deal with my well-being. I started to maintain a daily schedule for myself, including sleeping, meals and activities. The best thing I did was I looked after my mental health. I know it's difficult to feel stressed, confused and scared during this pandemic, but talking to people who you know and trust can help to overcome it. In certain perspective of this pandemic, I'm so appreciative to it since it makes me a controlled individual.
It is undeniable that this pandemic taught us a lot, especially regarding our health. For example, how we supposed to take care of ourselves, both mentally and physically. Moving to question number 4. As a student, how do you cope up with this pandemic? AINAH, go first.
Oh, so I literally do everything that went viral, such as making trendy dalgona coffee. I also watching recommended K-drama and baking like for the whole week, which doesn't last long because I started to get bored. So I come up with a schedule which I include activities that I enjoy and I want to try, such as drawing, playing keyboard, learning Korean, and also take incentive as a Muslim to improve my tajweed and also improve my prayer. So it's getting better when I enter university, which I still stick with my old schedule, which I modified it to be suitable with my lectures, assignments and so on. When the things get tough, with all the online stuff, I do talk to my parents and my siblings to share my problems, and sometimes I just take a break from study like couple of hours and do activities with my fam. We do planting or maybe watching television together. So to cope with this pandemic, talking to someone and do activities is the best way for me.
Exactly. Many students are trying all the possible ways to make themselves stay focused in their studies. DIPANRAJ, it's your turn.
Well, I handle this situation by keeping myself busy in my studies. I attend my classes and do the assignments which given by the lecturer. Additionally, I'm learning about Photoshop and other editing softwares also through YouTube, which will distract me from my depression. And I do spend time with my family members, watching TV with them, talking to them and helping my mom with house chores. And yeah, that's how I'm coping up with this pandemic.
Yes, guys, the COVID-19 pandemic has had a major effect on our life. Many of us are facing challenges that can be stressful, overwhelming, and cause strong emotion in adults also children. It is natural, guys, to feel stress, anxiety, grief, and worry during the COVID-19 pandemic, right? Okay, my last question is for all of you. If this pandemic ends, what is the first thing you want to do? Maybe we can start with Darshini.
One of the things I'm going to do after pandemic is family gathering. I miss seeing my relatives and cousins as well. The pandemic has taught many of us how much we took lunch plans with friends or family for granted. I'm going to definitely say yes to more of those opportunities that I will have put off in the past. So I think having family gathering is definitely a good place to start.
And now, Privan, is your time.
In this case, hiking would be the first thing I want to do if the pandemic is over. Because if I'm moving my body, it makes me feel less stressed about everything that's going on in Malaysia. Moreover, hiking for me helps to alleviate anxiety and depression. I have been in a very bad mental state for months because of the quarantine, so I just need to go on for a long walk to boost my mental health.
How about you, Dipan?
I want to meet my close ones after this pandemic ends. It's been so long since I spent proper time with them. All this while we have been video calling through WhatsApps only and voice calling. So spending some quality time with them will be the first thing I will do immediately after this pandemic.
How about you, Aina?
It's a really nice question. As for me, my hometown is in Indonesia and my sister is studying abroad. So usually we all gather to spend Eid as a big family as we used to. But since the border is closed, we can't do it, and it saddened me out because I'm really close with them. So back to the question, the first thing I want to do is to hug my grandmother and my sister. I really hope the world is healing and away from COVID-19 anytime soon, so we can open the border and I can visit them.
I'm pretty sure many people out there, including ourselves, are eagerly waiting to do our favorite things once this pandemic over. Last but not least, is there anything you want to say to others? Any requests or messages for people who are listening to our podcast? We will start with Privin first.
COVID-19 will be remembered as the virus that stopped the world. The pandemic has brought about significant changes in the present. One important thing we can learn from this is to always be prepared for the unexpected, because those who do not learn from history are destined to repeat it. Besides, I'd like to ask those who are inclined to breach the SOPs and the new normal in order to challenge the epidemic to please stay and obey it. Because I'm concerned about my prospects, about my education, and about my educational potential. It really would be a nightmare for the own generation if you were to roam like this. Please.
How about you, Dipan?
For everyone who is undergoing the same situation like us, please be with patience. Soon this pandemic will come to an end and we all can experience the normal life again, hopefully. Until then, please follow the SOPs set by the government and take care of yourself. We can go through this together.
So to all the listeners, yes, I'm on the same page as Privin and Dipan. Nobody wants to be infected by COVID-19. So please and please and please, I'm begging all of us to rise together and keep on supporting our frontliners, as they really need our support as a motivation. And remember, we can only do this together. Let's keep on fighting and fighting and fighting until we win this war. That's all from me.
How about you, Darshini?
Okay, for me, this pandemic is more serious because it affects health and lives, and there is so much we don't know about it. My advice for people is to continue to be positive and never give up hope. It's when we start to lose hope that we begin to struggle mentally, and this uncertainty is part of life, and definitely we will get through it.
Thank you for all of you for your time to attend and share with us about your personal opinion regarding to this topic. Take care and stay safe, everyone. That's all from me, Ayu. Hope you're enjoying this podcast. Stay safe, stay strong. I will pass to Mitra. Thank you and have a great day, guys. Bye.
This time together was so enlightening. We are very happy and grateful to all of you who took time to listen our podcast. We hope you enjoy our conversations. Thank you for listening. Hang in there as better times are ahead.